Bernard shows up at Sim's abode. I suspected from last episode that Bernard would not be too happy with Sims, and he would not be forgiving at all after having to eliminate Meadows. This is the woman they loved. He tells Sims to forget about being his shadow, and instead he made him a judge. To me, this is a great gig, but these people are on a whole nother level. Ultimately, Bernard is going to need a shadow, and at this point in the episode, I developed a crazy theory which I'll discuss later. Now, when we left off last episode, Knox and my girl Shirley were running for their lives along with Martha and Carla. And they're still running. The gaslighting has been successful thus far, with mobs scouring the silo looking for them. The four are ducking, but they can't last too long out there, out in the open. And when Carla gets injured, they need a quick place to hold up and get transport back to mechanical. She recalls her good friend Calvin, who was a porter. She wants to barter. We'll stay here and you can help us get down to the mechanical, and I'll give you before time bourbon. It's amazing how many before time bourbon or before time drinks these people seem to have an endless supply. Now, any other time this would have been sufficient. It would have been more than enough. But times are different. Calvin is looking for something more valuable.
Do you have anything that belonged to Juliet Nichols?
Juliet has now become a legend. I am curious to see how her return plays out. Bernard gaslighted her, sent her out to clean, and she survived. She is now bigger than him. Now, while Mechanical is hiding out, Bernard
put a bounty on the 2 leaders.
1,000 credits each.
Have Judicial erect a barricade at 1:30 in case they elude the mob.
This strategy proves successful when Knox runs in and tells them that the raiders are heading their way. And now they are running again, and they realize that they have to split up because Carla is limping and the bounty is on Shirley and Knox anyhow. Martha has to leave Carla behind, who expects to get caught, and she does. At present, the sheriff feels like a side story, but it's building into something important when we think back to the rebellion in Silo 17 and how both sides mirror each other. The sheriff learns about what is going on and tells a deputy who is friends with Shirley and Knox. But the deputy puts aside his feelings so that they can figure out where Patrick Kennedy is now that they realize that he's alive. And they do. He's down in the tunnels. The sheriff gets a moment alone with him.
Don't you see that it's all a lie? Everything they told us, the pact, is just to keep us in line, and we will never, ever find out the truth. Sims would shoot each one of us.
Just like in the 17 rebellion, the sheriff is not aligned with IT and Judicial. He shows Kennedy a relic, a picture he tore out of Juliet's book. With that, Kennedy will tell the sheriff everything he knows. We started off wondering what the deputy would do if he met up with Shirley and Knox, and now we have to wonder what the sheriff is going to do. Sims just cannot handle being banished as the judge. Admelson is in the position he once was, and Sims probably thinks that Admelson will end up being Bernard's shadow. He makes a very impactful statement to his wife.
If he succeeds, it'll be like a reset fail, like Juliet Nichols never happened.
Bernard works to squelch Juliet's influence. He returns her belongings to her father. Normally when somebody dies, or in this case gone, their belongings are put back into circulation. But as we saw with Calvin, her things have become valuable. And Bernard claims that he's concerned about people fighting over her stuff. Now, Dr. Nichols, he sees right through this. And as a whole, he has lost so much. He has nothing left to live for. And he's so fed up with lying to wannabe parents.
You can't control what she means to people. You can't control what she means to me.
It really does look like Bernard is losing some of his influence. Bernard's been a very busy person this episode. He now brings Lukas into his office.
Do you know what the life expectancy is of someone sent to the mines?
No, sir.
5 years. So when Judge Meadows cut your sentence in half, it was a symbolic gesture at best. It's unlikely you'd survive your time there.
He then makes Lukas an offer he can't refuse. Find out what's on Juliet's tape, that one that has become the bane of Lukas's existence. And if he does, he may see better days, or at least for the next 24 hours. Meadows left Bernard with a mystery he intends to solve. What did Salvador Quinn write in code? It's probably a foregone conclusion that once Lukas knows what's on the tape, Bernard will kill him. But, and here's my crazy, crazy theory. Here's where it comes in. Bernard doesn't have a shadow, and he can't trust anyone. He only trusted Meadows. He needs someone who isn't power hungry enough to take him out, yet someone who isn't prone to breaking pact rules. Lukas could have helped Juliet with the tape, but he didn't. So my crazy theory is that he makes Lukas his shadow. He can do like what Solo is in 17. He can take Lukas and just throw him in the vault. I'm not saying he's going to do that. It's a crazy theory. He's probably going to kill Lukas. But if he made him his shadow, no one would suspect. Just saying. Anyway, we'll see if he even survives this. But for now, Lukas has been able to extract some information from the drive.
There are lines that are coming from outside the silo walls. There's something on the IT level and something on judicial.
Any idea what they are?
No,
He also found a tunnel at the very bottom of the silo. It's like the one George found, right? And then Lukas added,
It was a scan of a handwritten letter someone wrote his wife.
Who?
Salvador Quinn. It's a love letter, but then it gets kind of weird. It goes into this...
It goes into code.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
bingo. Why would Salvador write code in a love letter while being in a rebellion? Or did it start the rebellion? Did this love letter, this code, whatever he found, is that the thing that instigated the rebellion? Did he see the helmet with the birds flying in the air? Meanwhile, Sims can't even get back to where the action is. The button doesn't work for him anymore. And if Admonson succeeds, Sims will probably spend his days looking at home movies. But don't worry, Sims, your wife has other plans for you. Camille is on the case. We have our duo, Knox and Shirley. They run into a dead end of angry people. They are finally caught and it's about to end badly for them when Camille makes it in time. She convinces the mob to let her arrest the duo so they can go out and clean. But that's not really what she wants to do. Instead, she takes them to a safe place to hold up. She tells them about the blockade and then leaves. And when she goes home, she doesn't tell Sims that she helped them escape. She doesn't tell him anything about that.
He did tell me 3 of the suspects were still at large.
If you were in charge, they'd have been in custody hours ago.
So what's her game? Is she looking to make her husband the shadow, or is she trying to get that position for herself? Or is she just trying to get Amundsen replaced and then see where the dominoes fall? Bernard knows she was the last person who was with Knox and Shirley before they disappeared again. If Sims had just been patient and not gone after Meadows, he stood a better chance of being Bernard's shadow. Our duo has a chance for second wind.
I was wrong about what to do. I wanted to ask nicely, and now we're gonna die for it.
We were damned from the beginning either way. But if we did it my way, we'd already be dead.
On a side note, since they were in the tunnels, I've been sort of kind of shipping them, so I'm happy they're still alive. They know about the barricade, they know they have to get through it, and it's looking more and more like Silo 17. We just need the walkway blown up to finish off the look. No one is allowed to pass through, even if you live on the other side. Now, Martha saw the barricade, and she turned away. How are Shirley and Knox going to make it through?
We gotta go home sometime. I said we hit the stairs and run like hell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But not down. Up.
What?
Trust me.
They trek upward back to Calvin. They tie him up and get the supplies they need to escape. They pose as porters to get past the raiders, and one of the many things forbidden in the silo is building any kind of pulley system to go between levels. They don't have elevators. Now Emerson catches up with them, but not in time. They jump. It goes far, but then he sabotages them by cutting the rope, and he throws his device over the edge. And he could have killed somebody below, but I guess he's not worried about that. They escape. They are down on the other side of the barricade with their people, and the mob in the north is not happy at all that they escape, and they tear down the barricade, and that gives Martha a chance to escape. She just blends in with them and goes. Bernard is furious, but luckily he has his trusted sheriff down there to arrest Knox and Shirley. Oh, wait. There was a lot going on in Silo 18. Back when Meadows talked about 25 years ago and she was gone for 4 days, I believe she spent those 4 days going down below. Because it takes about that long to go down and come up, maybe hang out for a day. Either she did the coding by herself or maybe she got help, but maybe she went down to speak to Martha and Carla about it and showed it to them, or maybe even left it with them. I mean, when you think about it, Martha and Carla, they separated around that same time 25 years ago. And then Martha locked herself inside and never came out again for until 25 years later. I mean, there's so many possibilities. What do you think? What do you think is in the letter? Do you think Martha saw it or Carla saw it? Do you think that had anything to do with helping to decode it? And what about the sheriff? Do you think he'll hand over Knox and Shirley? Will he openly defy Bernard? Or will he do it on the down low by acting like he doesn't know where they are? And what is Camille up to? You think maybe she wants to run the place instead of her husband? And will Lukas make it out alive? Or is he going to be stuck in the mines forever? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for watching.